And Lord Shiva says that one can be qualified to even acquire the post of Brahma by following the Varnashram for 100 lifetimes. But one will not get qualification just to see me. But just because you are planning to worship Lord Hari, Chetas had not begun to worship Lord Hari. They were just planning. I'm pleased with your endeavor, and I have come to bestow my mercy to you. So to just take darshan of Lord Shiva is very, very rare. And we also see in the 8th canto that how when all the demigods, they approached Lord Shiva when the poison was coming in the Samudra Manthan Leela, all the demigods, they approached Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva feels so compassionate, and he tells to Mother Parvati that Parvati, these people have come and they are asking me to help them. And if I help everyone, then Supreme Lord Hari will be pleased. So I must drink this poison. Just imagine husband asking the wife, can I drink some poison? And Sukadeva Goswami says that Parvati, knowing the powers of Lord Shiva, agreed, gave permission that drink. And all the poison that Lord Shiva drank became a special Neelakantha, as a special blue collar in the neck of Lord Shiva. This is Lord Shiva. He is non-different than Vishnu. And why such a personality has to run away from Brikasur? Can you imagine? He is such a big personality. He is in charge of the material world. Brahma is paying obeisances to Lord Shiva. He knows everything. He is in charge of annihilation. He is in charge of Tamoguna. He is a Guna avatar. He is Sambhu Tattva. And he is running away from a mere Jivatma, Brikasur. So sometimes when we read these stories, Lord Shiva saved from Brikasur, we may think, Lord Shiva is saved from Brikasur. As if Lord Shiva was not knowing what Brikasur's intention was, and as if Lord Shiva was not knowing what Brikasur will do. Just before, if all of you would have read little before, Narad, when he is telling to Brikasur, he is glorifying Lord Shiva, that this Shiva has already given benedictions to Banasur. This Shiva has already given benediction to Ravana. So he will also give you benediction. You go to him. That means Ravana and Banasur episode is already over. We say, na, दूध का जला छाछ भी पुक पुक पे पीता है. Ordinary man also दूध का जला छाछ पुक पुक के पीता है. And he is Lord Shiva. He is not able to understand what Brikasur will do. You are able to understand? Lord Shiva is the Supreme Lord of this universe. He is Sambhu Tattva. He is the direct expansion of Vishnu, in charge of the material creation. And he is running away from Brikasur. The story has much deeper meaning than we see the story. And today we will discuss what is the deeper meaning of why Lord Shiva is running away from Brikasur. Lord Shiva has given a benediction, but Jiva Goswami says when Lord Shiva actually appears, I'll tell you the translation, we will read it. Okay, there it is. Finally, this person has gone to Kedarnath. And Lord Shiva is coming. Yeah, this one. Text 22. Tatsrutva Bhagavan Rudro Durmana iva bharata Omiti prahasam tasmai Dadehar amritam yatha Tatsrutva Bhagavan. Upon hearing the benediction that Brikasur is asking, that give me a benediction, that my hand, whoever I put my hand on whosoever head, he will burst. Hearing that, Durmana, such a wicked person, right? And Lord Shiva is also, his mind gets completely disturbed, displeased. Follower hai. Om iti prahasam tasmai. But Jiva Goswami says that Lord Shiva is smiling. Prahasam. And why Lord Shiva is smiling? Because Lord Shiva understands that definitely Lord Hari has a plan and we'll have a nice time together. So we must understand that Brikasur is not even an insignificant insect in front of Lord Shiva's power. Lord Shiva, who can even annihilate universes in his incarnation as Rudra, what is so significant of Brikasur? But Lord Shiva is allowing himself, putting himself. Can you imagine the Supreme Lord running away? Just imagine the scene. One demon is running and Lord Shiva is running behind. What about the followers of Lord Shiva? Grace Sri Nitai Prabhu ki Srila Prabhupada ki. And this is not the first time. Lord Shiva was running behind Mohini. And now he is running in fear of Brikasur. And all the followers, we were thinking, ये तो भगवान है, ये क्यों भाग रहा है? Why is running? So Lord Shiva, in the beginning of this chapter, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Sukadev Goswami, when he is speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, and in the previous chapter, the Shruti Stava, all the Shrutis are glorifying so much the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are so glorifying. There are some Shiva Bhaktas also sitting on the assembly, and they are thinking, Lord Shiva कौन है? मैं तो सोच रहा था वही भगवान है. And what is this Narayan speaking that he is God? Who is Lord Shiva? And why Lord Shiva is not being glorified? So Sukadev Goswami specifically tells this story in order to pacify and clear up the doubt of the followers of Lord Shiva that Lord Vishnu is supreme. And what to speak of Lord Krishna, who is described in the 10th canto. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, you see Vishnu, who is just an expansion of Krishna, expansion of the expansion of expansion of Krishna. He is potent to save Lord Shiva from such a great danger. So now you finalize who is the Supreme Personality of God. And in the next chapter also, the same theme continues, where Bhrigu Muni is going to test all the three devatas, the guna avataras, and finally proclaims that Lord Vishnu is the Supreme Personality of God. So we can see how the Lord Shiva is such a empowered, so he is such a powerful, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is making a clown of himself just to ensure that he participates in the pastimes of the Lord. Just imagine how much, by reading only we get so much happiness that Krishna is telling, Are Vrikasur, wait. Just imagine how much Krishna would be enjoying with Vrikasur. Becoming a brahmachari. Vrikasur, wait. Thoda rest le lo. So just by hearing only we are all laughing. How much enjoyment Krishna would be getting, Narayan would be getting by becoming a brahmachari. In some of the stories, it is said that in some places, it is also mentioned that, I don't know, in some other kalpas it would happen, it doesn't come in Bhagavatam, that Lord Vishnu became a lady. And I don't know whether to tell he now or she becomes a lady, and Lord Vishnu enamors Bhasmasur so much that Bhasmasur says, and then Mohini, or the lady, says, I want to dance with you. Just imagine, he forgets Lord Shiva, he forgets everything. No, Mohini wants to dance with me. And then Bhasmasur says, from beginning I have only done austerities. I don't know how to dance with you. Mohini says, I will teach you how to dance with you. And then Bhasmasur dances and Mohini teaches dancing. And then Bhasmasur dances, Mohini teaches dancing. Mohini raises hand like this, Bhasmasur raises hand like this. Mohini raises a leg like this, Bhasmasur raises it like this. Mohini makes a posture like this, Bhasmasur makes a posture like this. And finally, Mohini makes a posture like this. And Bhasmasur makes a posture like this. And Hare Krishna. That was the last posture. Thus ends the drama. So, we may say Lord Shiva is fleeing away, those who are, but that understanding is for those of the Shiva Bhaktas. For them it is important that they should understand Lord Vishnu is supreme. But as Vaishnavas, as Gaudiya Vaishnavas or Vaishnavas, when we read this story, we should take out the deeper meaning of this pastime. Because we are already convinced who is Lord Shiva, and we are already convinced who is Lord Vishnu. When we read such pastimes, we must understand that just see Lord Shiva, what not he is ready to do for the pleasure of Hari. Sometimes in drama, if it is asked, can you become Dusasan? नहीं प्रभु जी सब लोग आश्रम में दुशासन बुलाएंगे. Can you become Duryodhan? No one is ready to become Duryodhan. No one is become. Can you tell any lady to, can you become Mataji Putana? Which lady will want to become Putana? Name itself, naik. We had in Kharagpur, we used to do kirtan. Yes, Nima Anand Prabhu. We used to do kirtan in the morning, and one lady used to shout from the neighboring house, and all the devotees named her Putana auntie. And I was the OC. I was called so many times by Putana auntie. And she would give counseling also. सुबह सुबह सोना करो, न disturb करते हो. She had some issues and health issues, maybe, I don't know. But who is given a name Putana? Who troubles? And just imagine a drama. Drama is happening and all ladies are there, and someone is asked, can you become Mataji Yasoda? Yes, 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 yes. Can you become Putana? No, no, no. So even in a drama, people are not ready to take a negative role or a character because they know their entire life will be branded with that character. But just see the quality of Lord Shiva. He knows that for time immemorial, how many people will come to know that Lord Shiva was just enacting this pastime? Very few Vaishnavas like us. And that also requires the help of the Acharyas. Because our Acharyas are telling, that's why we are able to understand, oh, actually Lord Shiva is not fearful of Brikasur. Lord Shiva is incarnation of Vishnu. He is just enacting to give a special pleasure to Vishnu. For all the Shiva Bhaktas, for all the generic people, oh, क्या हो रहा है? शिव क्यों भाग रहा है? कौन भगवान है? शिव है या विष्णु है? So Lord Shiva, actually, in front of one's followers, everyone is very, very, oh, मैं तो बहुत बड़ा आदमी. Yes, yes. In front of one followers, generally one wants to boast. One wants to show how great I am in front of one's disciples. Oh, just see. But Lord Shiva is ready to take such a position just to fulfill the mission of the Lord. So that we Vaishnavas, when we say that Lord Vishnu is supreme, Lord Shiva is not supreme, we need some examples. We need some case studies. Imagine you are giving a class. Who is supreme? Shiva or Vishnu? Which story you will tell? This story. And Lord Shiva knows that the Vaishnavas are going to come. And these Vaishnavas have to prove that Vishnu is supreme. My Lord is supreme. I am simply an insignificant servant. So I need to do some pastime. I need to do something. So as to establish. Otherwise Vaishnavas will only speak theoretically that Lord Vishnu is supreme. I am simply an insignificant servant. There has to be some story. There has to be some case study. So Lord Shiva is smiling, thinking that this is Hari's plan and I would become an instrument in giving special, very special pleasure to Hari. So, the most important concept in the life of a devotee or a sadhaka or a disciple or a follower or a servant is how a servant aligns with the mission of the Master. So we see this as an underlying principle. In the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, we see that when Hiranyakashipu's discussion is going on. Now, actually it is Narad Muni glorifying Prahlad Maharaj. And in the course of the discussion, you will see that Narad Muni is telling to Yudhishthir, ki Yudhishthir, what to speak of all others? Even I was also fearful of Hiranyakashipu, and all my friends along with Tumburu, we were also glorifying Hiranyakashipu. We had also stopped verbally doing Sankirtan. Can you imagine? Narad Muni stopping Kirtan and speaking Hiranyakashipu ki jai. Is Narad Muni afraid of Hiranyakashipu? But imagine if Narad Muni disobeys Hiranyakashipu, then he will become Prahlad. But Narad Muni purposefully obeys Hiranyakashipu because he knows that in this pastime, Prahlad is going to get glorified. Let me take a back seat so that Prahlad is glorified. In this way, the servant consciousness, the consciousness of servitude is to align oneself to the mission of the Lord. Now Lord is going to come as Narsingadev and glorify Prahlad. His mission is to glorify Prahlad. His mission is not to glorify me. And that is how I should take a back seat. Even if I am not afraid of Hiranyakashipu, I will enact and say Hiranyakashipu Jai. And we see also the same concept in the life of Lord Shiva, that Lord Shiva is doing so many things. So when we are talking of alignment with the mission, some of the services in the mission will be exemplifying. And some of the services in the mission of the Lord will be very, very embarrassing. But Lord Shiva is ready to take both the exemplifying roles and also the embarrassing roles. Just imagine how embarrassing would be to Lord Shiva. He is the topmost Vaishnava. And for us, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came as a devotee, and for all the Vaishnavas to hear Mayavad philosophy, it is so painful. Lord Shiva is the topmost of Vaishnava, getting order from the Lord that I specifically order you that you go and preach Mayavad philosophy. Write such a bhasya. I'll read. So this is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Lord Shiva, quoted from Padma Puran. The Mayavad philosophy Lord Shiva informed his wife Parvati is impious, asat sastra. It is covered Buddhism. My dear Parvati, in Kali Yuga, I assume the form of a Brahmana and teach this imagined Mayavad philosophy in order to cheat the atheist. I describe the personality of Godhead to be without form and without qualities. Similarly, in explaining Vedanta, I describe the same Mayavad philosophy in order to mislead the entire population towards atheism by denying the personal form of the Lord. So, Lord Shiva is telling to Parvati how specifically he comes in Kali Yuga, becoming Sankaracharya. So when I used to be very young, I just came to Krishna consciousness, I used to read Srila Prabhupada's book, and Srila Prabhupada, while mentioning the names of our acharyas, just see all of our acharyas, Sankaracharya, Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I used to always wonder, Sankaracharya हमारा कौन सा आचार्य हो गए? What is common between us and Sankaracharya? Nothing. We are three dandi sannyasis, they are ekadandi sannyasi. We keep a tuft of hair, they don't keep a tuft of hair. Whatever we do is completely ideologically opposite. Then how Lord Srila Prabhupada is telling, I used to always have this doubt, how Srila Prabhupada is telling that Sankaracharya is our Acharya. And then later on I came to know that Sankaracharya is Lord Shiva. But that is not just the end of the understanding. We need to understand why Sankaracharya is our Acharya, because Sankaracharya or Lord Shiva is showing the example of an ideal servant. He is ready to take such an embarrassing role where Vaishnavas will tell chi-chi to Saririka Bhasya till time immemorial. But Lord Shiva is ready to take this role. So we must understand this principle that when stories like this are being spoken in Srimad Bhagavatam, where Lord Shiva is bewildered by Mohini, Lord Shiva is being saved from the Vikasur, and later on Lord Shiva is running behind Bhrigu to kill Bhrigu because he offended. Do you think Lord Shiva, just simple Vaishnava, will not do like this? Yes? A simple Vaishnava, even if he thinks, neophyte devotee in ISKCON, even if he thinks, Prabhuji mere ko dandavat nahi mara, even if he thinks like that, he will not tell. How come Lord Shiva, who is Vaishnavanam Yatha Sambhu, how can he run behind Bhrigu to kill Bhrigu just because Bhrigu spoke some words? So when as Vaishnavas we hear these stories are not meant to prove Lord Shiva as supreme, because we already know the position of Lord Shiva, we already know the position of Vishnu. We must derive the deeper lesson from these stories, that how Lord Shiva is so dedicated to the mission of Vishnu. He is ready to take an exemplifying role of when Vishnu sends Lord Shiva, go and instruct the Prachetas. Very good. Yes, I'm ready. He goes and instructs the Prachetas. And the Rudra Gita mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam is so special. I don't know how many of you have read it. Very special. In the 4th canto it comes. And the same Lord Shiva, when Vishnu instructs him, go and preach Mayavad, he is ready to come and preach Mayavad, which is such an embarrassing role. And the same Lord Shiva, just to give pleasure to Vishnu, he gets bewildered by Mohini. And the same Lord Shiva, just to give pleasure to Vishnu, he runs away from the Kasur and taking these embarrassing roles. Similarly, in our service to Guru and Gauranga, we should also see that whether it is an embarrassing service or whether it is an exemplifying service, my goal is to just align myself to the mission of the Lord. And that's what we can learn from this story. And that is how we see sometimes when we go for book distribution or preaching, Sometimes it is a very exemplifying experience. Wow, Prabhuji, what a class and everything. And sometimes it is such an embarrassing situation. And we must understand, when those situations are embarrassing, we are doing the greatest service to the Supreme Lord. And sometimes we think, we have a thought, log kya kahenge? Log kya sochenge? When I said first time to my father that I have gone for book distribution, तुम ये कर रहा है हॉकर काम? I said, hawker? क्या बोले hawker? This is way back when we used to distribute in trains. Just imagine how great is Srila Prabhupada. He is appointing a IITian as hawker. That too not in railway stations, in like the beggars, Kitab, Gita, 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 Gita. That is glory of Srila Prabhupada. ऐसा किताब लिखे कि IITians लोग हॉकर बन के अनाउंसमेंट होता है, इतने सारे IITian गए हॉकरी काम करके 50 गीता डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करके आए. Very embarrassing for outside world. But we must know that this embarrassing experience, we are in line with this story, how Lord Shiva is running away. All the world may think, Arey, dekho, I think, oh, I was taking wrong shelter. Lord Shiva is not the right person. He should have taken shelter of Vishnu. But as Vaishnavas, we must understand, Vrikrasur is not even a worm in front of Lord Shiva. But he is doing this, he is taking this embarrassing role just to give pleasure to Hari. So, we should give up this mentality of log kya sochenge. And we see outside world. Are they thinking log kya sochenge? What not they are doing? Smoking, drinking, what not they are doing? They are not wearing anything. And they are not thinking log kya sochenge. Huh? Huh? So outside people are convinced that they are doing the right thing, and we are doing the right thing, we are confused. सही कर रहा हूं क्या? We should be convinced, and that conviction should create confusion in them. मैं सही कर रहा हूं क्या? As IITians, or if we have big degrees, we should go out and do hawkery, and then they should think, अरे मैं सही कर रहा हूं क्या? ये सब कंपनी छोड़ के हॉकरी काम कर रहा है और मैं टाई भिड़ के घूम रहा हूं. So our activities should create such confusion in the life of people that they just want to read Gita. क्या है ये जो IITian को हॉकर बना दिया? Yes. So we must understand this, that though this may seem a very embarrassing role, but we must align ourselves with the mission of the Lord. I remember how Nityananda Prabhu, the best glorification of Nityananda Prabhu is a song written by Lochan Das Thakur, Akarodha Paramananda Nityananda Rai. Now, Balaram is Nityananda. What a Krishna Abhiman! Abhimana Sunya Nitai Nagare Vedai. Balaram ji had such Krishna Abhiman. There was little offense by the Kurus, and Balaram was ready to drag down Hastinapur to Yamuna. There was little offense by Yamuna. Balaram was ready to divide Yamuna. That was Krishna Abhiman, or Purusa Abhiman, or Bhagwan Abhiman, Bhagavatva Abhiman of Balaram. And just to align himself with the mission of the Lord, Balaram gave up his Krishna Abhiman. Abhimana Sunya Nitai Nagare Vedai. And to the same Balaram who comes as Nityananda, because Lord Chaitanya wants, I am ready to go door to door. And when he used to knock in the door, not that everyone used to, oh Nitai, you have come. Welcome, come to our living room. Sit down. No. Say, you foolish, you thief, you are roaming just to see all around what all items are there, so that night you can come and steal. Nityananda is supposed to steal. Everything belongs to him. Why you will steal? Your refrigerator. He can create the entire world as a refrigerator. Huh? Just imagine what Nityananda would be thinking. तेरा कहाँ, तेरा चुराने के लिए मैं आया हुआ, नालायक कहीं का, सब मेरा ही है, तुम चुराया है. But he's taking such an embarrassing role. He's going through such embarrassment. We go little bit, कोई बोल देता है क्या कर रहा है प्रभु जी, यही सब किया, शादी वादी नहीं किया, छोड़ दिया सब कुछ, मम्मी पापा का क्या होगा. We feel so embarrassed, we become so angry, correct? Yes. If someone says something, pinching words to us, प्रभु जी आप तो घूम रहे हैं फ्लाइट में, मम्मी पापा का कौन देख रहा है. Right? Sometimes people say to us like this, in a very, very sarcastic way, and we feel so angry. But just imagine Nityananda, how aligned he is to the mission of Lord Chaitanya. No, Lord Chaitanya is telling me that just whoever you go and meet, tell them about Krishna. Even if it is a very embarrassing situation for me, I will do it. Even if I am put in a very embarrassing situation, my pleasure is aligning with the mood and the mission of the Lord. So, this is what we should take as a meaning in this. Nityananda, again the example, just imagine he's a avadut. For someone who is not interested to get married, to get him married, it's so difficult. For someone who is avadut, to get him married. And Lord Chaitanya says, go and search. Nityananda says, from where I will search? So he gets married. So we see this as an underlying principle in all the characters of Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita is a strong alignment to the mission and the mood of the Lord. And that alignment can be sometimes very exemplifying, very appreciating from the public, and that alignment can be sometimes very, very embarrassing. But both are taken with equal happiness. Rather, the devotees of the Lord, they take these embarrassing situations more happily, with more jubilation, that I am doing such a wonderful service, because the devotees want themselves to be put in a very foolish, clown-like situation. Here, Lord Shiva, just imagine, how the demigods are watching. क्या हो रहा है, शिव जी भाग रहे, शिव जी भाग रहे, शिव जी भाग रहे. Right? As the sloka says, as Lord Shiva is running, you see what will happen. I just read that thing. As the demon pursued him, Lord Shiva fled swiftly from his abode in the north, shaking with terror. Can you imagine? Lord Shiva is shaking with terror. He ran as far as the limits of the earth, the sky, and the corners of the universe. The great demigods could only remain silent, not knowing how to counteract the benediction. Then Lord Shiva reached the luminous Vaikuntha. So all the demigods are watching. And Lord Shiva is so happy. Now here I am put in a situation where my Lord is glorified and I am being embarrassed. I am being put in a situation and I am proved that I am servant of Hari. I am not the in charge of this universe. Just like Advaita Acharya also. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to always catch the feet of Advaita Acharya, and Advaita Acharya was to feel so bad. And he enacted a special pastime where he started speaking about Saririka Bhasya, just like Sankaracharya. And Lord Chaitanya comes and climbs on the shoulder of Advaita and sits here. Lord Advaita Acharya is giving Bhagavatam class on the Vyasasan. Lord Chaitanya climbs on the Vyasasan on Advaita and starts beating him. and drags him out of Vyasasan and beats him. And Sita Thakurani, the wife of Advaita, says, save him, save him, save him. He's an old man. He will die, he will die, he will die. And Lord Chaitanya beats him. And then Advaita is smiling. Now everything is proven. Now everything is proven. I am simply a servant. I am simply a servant. You are my master. And then Lord Chaitanya understands that it was simply a drama by Advaita Acharya. So in this way, a servant is happy to take an embarrassing role just to glorify the master Hari. Here Lord Shiva is happy, jubilant to take this embarrassing role just because it fulfills the mission of the Lord, fulfills the mission of the Vaishnavas, so that Sukadeva Goswami can quote this. This story is only quoted in Srimad Bhagavatam. There is no other reference of this story in any other Puranas. Only in Srimad Bhagavatam it is quoted. So Lord Shiva takes up these embarrassing roles so as all the Vaishnavas can have topics and they can easily prove that Lord Shiva is not the Supreme Lord, Lord Vishnu is the Supreme Lord. My Lord is the Supreme Lord. I am simply an insignificant servant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Lord Shiva ki, Lord Shiva and Parvati Devi ki, Lord Shiva getting saved from Brikasur pastime ki, Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.